friends. Pastor Stephen here from Guilford Park Presbyterian Church. Hope you're enjoying your summer as we approach the end of the month of July and consequently the end of our current sermon series, I've Been Meaning to Ask. Over the past 4 Sundays, we've been worshiping in the fellowship hall, a little bit of a different setting to kind of help facilitate these conversations. And we've asked ourselves 4 questions. First, we began by saying, where are you from? And then we asked ourselves, where does it hurt? And then what do you need? And then last week, where do we go from here? So this Sunday is going to be the culmination of all of those questions, and we're going to have a very different kind of worship service. So when we're in the sanctuary, so often we sit side by side and week after week in the pews without truly getting to know one another. After the isolation of the pandemic, made harder by political divisiveness and social unrest, our society is desperately in need of spaces for connection and conversation. That's what the sermon series has been all about. We know that change, growth, and healing can only come through curiosity, empathy, and courage. So in this Sunday's worship service, we hope to move beyond small talk to practice curiosity, listening, and connection. So therefore, we'll have a very unique conversation-based worship service that will provide fellowship and connection and hopefully a glimpse of the holy. At this service, we will gather, we will hear scripture read, and then we'll engage in 30 minutes of intentional and guided conversation with our neighbors as the sermon moment. So I won't be preaching this Sunday, but together we will proclaim the word through our intentional conversations. And then we will close with prayer and with Holy Communion. So how is this going to work, you may wonder? Well, it's going to be a little bit different. I don't know if you've ever done speed dating, but it's kind of going to be like that. We're going to be in 2 circles of chairs in the fellowship hall with one inner circle that's facing outward and then an outer circle that's facing inward, so that you will be invited to be put into pairs for some guided conversations. We have, I think, 6 different questions that's going to be about 5 minutes long or something like that. And then at the end of every 5 minutes or so, one of the circles of chairs, everyone will be invited to stand up and then rotate so that you'll get different conversation partners for each of the 5-minute segments. During that time, I also want to be mindful of some folks that may have either may not want to be in one-on-one conversation and might want to have a bit of a larger conversation with more partners, or those who might have mobility issues that aren't comfortable or are unable to get up and down and up and down and up and down. So we are going to have some other circular tables around the fellowship hall for people for whom that might be a more accessible space for them to be in. And then while we have these conversations, Miss Kim is going to take the children to the parlor and have some age-appropriate questions for them. And then we will close with a time of communion. This sermon series has blessed me, and I hope it has blessed you. The feedback that we have gotten about being in the fellowship hall has been very positive. I think for the month of July, it works really well, having kind of a little bit more of a casual and intimate space where we can see each other better. But we are going to be going back to the sanctuary for starting in the month of August. We'll be back in the sanctuary. But if we want to, who knows? We may do this again next July. But we'll be heading back to the sanctuary starting in August. And actually that first Sunday in August, it's going to be another different worship service. It's just going to be a good old-fashioned hymn sing. Both Brian and Bill and Jordan are working together to have an old-fashioned hymn sing on Sunday. I think that's August 6th. So we invite you to come to both this worship service Sunday at 10, as well as the hymn sing back in the sanctuary on August 6th. Y'all, it is a privilege to be your pastor. I'm grateful to be your neighbor. And remember that there is room for you in the neighborhood. Take care, y'all. Bye.